Okay, so what you're watching is footage of an indie game called Tenebris Pictura. It is a game by a indie studio who did Megaton Rainfall. What you're gonna see is a very heavy-handed approach to storytelling and puzzle solving from the get-go. The game just drops you in, relies on you heavily to figure things out. There's only really any prompters to open the doors as you're about to see. You're introduced to a guy named Marcus or Magnus or whatever his name is. Somebody speaking to him, and you basically go in and out of pictures. He's supposed to be some kind of investigator, paranormal investigator, and he's sort of transitioning. But none of this is outright explained. He's just woke up from a dream. He's there. Somehow he can, you know, astral project himself out of his own body, go back in, and it works into the puzzle solving as you can see here. It took me a while to figure this part out, what I needed to do, again, because there is little hand holding. There's no tutorials to speak of, only button presses that are prompted, and it's not enough to get you to where you need to be. It's really heavy-handed on the puzzle solving. Really, really pushes the player to pick up the slack, where the developer sort of lazily, left off any tools that might have helped or anything. So, um, I understand there's appeal for some players that kind of puzzles. It might appeal to somebody, but the game really does seem bare bones in a lot of ways. Like the you just dropped into the game, just straight up dropped in, puzzles right off the bat. No intro, no intro cinematic sequence. Um, just these obstacles and these little mini sections of puzzle solving that you got to get through to get to the next section and further into the game to open up what is essentially a Soulsborne style of storytelling built upon the completion of segments of the game. So, at this point in the gameplay, I was already not digging it. I bought this game on a whim. It's $20. It's not at all like what I expected. I expected some sense of storytelling, something to draw me in, keep me invested. Uh, it's really annoying at this point, though. As you can see, I'm struggling to just try to figure out what to do with the pedestal and do with the astral projection mechanic. And I do finally figure it out. I had to push the thing over and get to the door, astral project and clear out the pink ooze, the paranormal substance there, to get to the doorway and get into it. But like, it's a struggle. I just did not grasp it early on, even though I kind of figured out initially what the pedestal was doing, opening up an area is obvious. Uh, Graphics wise, presentation wise, it's interesting. Definitely has its own unique take on things. It's like a Victorian style uh, sort of game, uh, old London streets and stuff, and Victorian with the occasional paint like details or textures thrown in. Um, I don't know. I mean, from initial viewpoint, like this is just too early on to introduce a puzzle like this to force the hand of the player to get to a point where there's even the remote resemblance of storytelling dialogue and It's not something I actually really liked. It did not draw me in. It did not. And another thing, if you notice, like I have to go back to the body to get back in from the astral projection. Like it should be snap. It should just be like you press the button and you're back in the body and make things so much easier. Another bad design choice. Here we have Magnus conversating with a enigmatic being. It doesn't tell you what it is, but basically you go into this painting, progresses forward to the next section of the experience, and it's like and there you've got like the painting-like textures, dreamlike sequence in the painting, and here we have another very very overwhelming puzzle that is outside the box of the norm. Like it's not your average puzzles. That being said, in hindsight, I think the first puzzle would have been more easily understood by most. What you're going to see here is a little less so. It involves taking a painting down and using it as a means to get inside that painting and create the same effect to clear out the pink ooze to get past through the door. Like you're gonna see this theme repeated. And beyond that, there's like getting ahead of myself. There's like this thing to do with this sort of like crossover line that things cannot cross over. This little boundary that the spectral form that your astral projection takes. But you'll see that in a second. Right here, you know, it's sort of got like a claustrophobic feel. Paintings on the walls, little room. It's very segmented. You'll be going in and out of buildings, going in paintings, no doubt. Top floor, bottom, pulling paintings off the walls. Going between the astral projection and the Magnus body. The combat, as you can see me swinging the fist of the astral projection, it's very basic. It's just punches. I imagine, like if I would have spent more time on it, it would have actually expanded upon those combat options. Because as you can tell, like with each advancement through the puzzles, you unlock different features. You'll see that here in a second. This developer hasn't put out anything in a long time. Megaton Rainfall was years ago. It was like a sort of alien invasion type, War of the Worlds type thing, if I'm correct. A 2D sort of like explorative Metroidvania type game, I think it was. Could be wrong. I could be thinking of something else, but again, here I'm struggling, trying to figure things out. I know the painting gives off that effect, so I've got that figured out. Go in the room, see the ooze, and it sort of clicks what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to get the painting off the wall. At first, you know, it doesn't really explain it, but it's got two different sets of icons. One where you can actually pull the painting off the wall. One where you can go into the painting. See, I just picked it up. Figured that out. It doesn't explain it very well. Another issue with the game's direction. It has no sense of direction in regards to objectives or you know, puzzle solving. So it's just, you know, figure it all out on your own. And anyways, go into the painting, flip the switch like I do with the astral projection, and get back out with enough time to go into the door, basically. It would be great though if they did make a snap back into the body sort of astral projection thing, because like going back to the body as the astral projection is a little annoying. And here, like it's just a basic punch out type thing. You beat up the entities until they're gone. The painting's destroyed. You've got a health bar down at the bottom. It refills after a fight. But yeah, I'm. Now this is another puzzle that stopped me. Like they give you a mechanic, a new mechanic. You go into the painting. This time it's in a little trinket box, and it's a little boundary. Like you know, some people would probably think maybe that's a way for the guy to cross over. Like if you draw the line with the astral projection, maybe the guy can cross over and not be harmed by whatever, or you put it through the thing. But again, it's not explained well enough. It's not showcased well enough as to what you need to do. It's one of those like those memes where you like 100 plus IQ. You know, only that kind of person can solve what's going on. And you really do gotta think outside the box with these things. Like, only by chance was I able to just figure the thing out, man. Like I spent just from start to here, I spent a ridiculous amount of time that could have been, spent, building upon a character. Letting you know who Magnus was, giving a sort of backdrop to why he's there and stuff. But they want to drag you through this process, this segmented process of puzzle solving, and try to get you to the segments where there is a little bit of dialogue between Magnus and this unseen force, this spiritual entity that's sort of blocking his path through these painted worlds. It is very annoying. It's very off-putting the way it's presented. For a game like this to work, you have to have incentive to go forward. You really have to have a reason, something that makes doing what you're doing important enough to pursue, right? Magnus, I don't even know what he is. I don't even know why he's doing what he's doing. There's no motive for me. He's just jumping through paintings. He's astral projecting and trying to solve puzzles. That's all it is to me. No reason for me to really commit to going other than to figure out what's going on. And it's an ass backwards kind of way of doing things, to be honest. I just don't know, man. Like, I can't really wrap my head around why they thought this was a good approach. This is definitely not ideal for attracting a player to continue through to the end. It's like not getting a player to a point they want to see it through to the end. It's just annoyance after annoyance. Drip fed lore, drip fed background. Just it's more puzzle than it is game. There's a lot of things they could have done with the astral projection mechanic and the combat that would have better, been suited than what is presented. And here we're in this room, and basically they give you a mechanics before you're supposed to use it. And, you know, I didn't initially click on it, but there's like a question mark above my head right there, and it's telling me to press R1, and I'll eventually do it because I can't figure out how to get past these things. It's just like a slog fest, you know. It's just trying to hammer your way through without taking damage enough to reset you. It's combat is very basic at this point. Just punches, just a flurry of punches. And here, right here, when I do the R1, it shows me that I'm supposed to sort of break these monsters up into groups. I try to do it, and it does not stop the projectiles from the other groups. They still get through, so there's really no point. It sort of diverts them, I guess, to the side where they come around, and still you're getting hit. And with your hits taking so much just to take out one, it kind of it just kind of takes the piss, man. It's another annoyance on top of annoyances, you know. It's just one more thing that is poorly done and poorly executed. But that's it.